Okay, so as we've already discovered, I own some unusual things. So now I'm going to talk about part of my passion, which is trick locks. So trick locks date back hundreds and hundreds of years, and the old masters years ago used to incorporate tricks inside the locking mechanism. This is because some of the locks they worked out how to pick the locks quite quickly because there wasn't complicated designs inside the mechanisms. So what they done, they actually built in safeguards inside these locks that meant that you couldn't get them open by just putting a key in and turning. There was some trick to it to give it the added security. So fast forward to the modern day, and at the time that was for the security of protecting things. Nowadays they're collector's items. So I collect many different types of locks, and trick locks are something I really do enjoy. Trick locks, also puzzle locks, known as puzzle locks as well. And in modern day terms, one of the most famous people for making these trick locks design is a close friend of mine called Pop. And he's a German engineer, and he's not a locksmith. He's a German engineer, and he has an absolute fascination with restoring and collecting antique trick locks. And because of his background and the talents that he's had, it was put to him in around 2006 to come up with an idea and put it up for sale for collectors of modern day type locks. And so Rainer made this. This is called the T1. And the T1, if you do collect puzzles, not so necessarily traditional old trick locks, but if you do collect a puzzle collector, this is a holy grail of locks to find. This lock is extremely rare because when Rainer made this lock, first of all, it was so complicated for the puzzlers, they just didn't buy it. It was this is not an easy lock to solve. This is a very difficult lock to solve. That's all right thinking about what you know now. If you follow trick locks now, and some of them are quite complicated now, and some of the puzzle boxes and stuff that we play with and collect are quite complicated. But when this was made, this kind of complexity was new to people. So some of the collectors actually sent it back. They because they couldn't open it. They sent it back and such. Rainer never completed a run of these locks, and so there's not huge amounts of them about. So these are very, very, very sought after. And in fact, if something like this come up at an auction, it would probably go for ridiculous kinds of money. But they don't come up for auction because when collectors pass these on, they actually want to pass them to other serious collectors of puzzle locks. So private things are done quite reasonable value compared to what they could probably fetch at an auction. So that is that's nice within the community of people that are not out just to take advantage of people. They actually want people to collect finish their collections, and no different to me. I started collecting puzzles around 10 years ago. And then within a couple of years, I got involved with the MPP lot, which is the Midlands Puzzle Party. A great group of people, puzzlers. And once they realised I was into locks, they started showing me this sort of stuff, and I was hooked instantly. To date, Rainer's made 12 different designs since 2006. And obviously, this is the Holy Grail. This is the hard one to get hold of. And I got extremely lucky that a friend of mine in the puzzle community, he happened to buy one at the time when they first come out. And not a particular lock collector, but a collector of boxes mainly. And there was a rumor went around that this was so, and this was my last one. This is what I needed to collect. As with the anyone that collects these locks, this was the last one to get. He was willing to do something with me. So in the end, we done some kind of exchange. I made him a puzzle box, which was designed from what he wanted from a puzzle box, and it mirrored another box that was made by another good friend of ours who's an outstanding craftsman. So I put something together for him, which was a one-off. And in return I got this, which I still can't believe. I'm still so pleased, even though I'm a close friend of the person that makes these. I've been to visit him and his family, and I continue to do so, and we get on very well. We talk all the time. but he, you know, he doesn't make them. So, you know, I got this from that source, and I will be forever grateful for that. Now, I'm not going to show solutions there. You know, you're probably not going to find a solution this on YouTube anyway, because they just, you know, they're just not about it. You know, they are like, you know, fairy dust. You know, you can't get them. So I'm not going to show the solution of the lock, because out of respect for the designer of the lock, I know if you're involved in the puzzle community, it's frowned upon to give away solutions. They don't really like that. The whole point of having puzzles is to work it out, and they don't really like people, you know, giving away the secrets. I mean, personally, there is a well-known person at the moment collecting puzzles and doing lots of videos of them and getting unbelievably big amount of views on his videos. Even a lot I made myself, because I make my own trick locks, nothing of this sort of standard, but you know, I make modified trick locks, and even my own lock has had 1.2 million views with him, which is quite unbelievable. But for me, it doesn't bother me. If you don't want to know the solution, you don't watch his videos. You know what you're going to get. And if you want to know the solution, especially if you're never going to get one, you want to watch them, then that's fine. It's up to you. So, but you know, I'm not going to show solutions, but I will show you around the lock. So the lock's quite distinctive, and if it reminds you of anything, maybe my logo, you may realise where I got that from. So this design of the shackle, I love this. They come in two designs. The first batch came out with this section because Rainer had not worked out the geometry of making shackles yet. That is quite complicated, believe it or not. It's not as easy as you think. And in the time he'd made a few, he'd worked out and made himself devices to actually bend the shackles. So you do get round shackles, and you do get a few with these bar shackles like this. And the only reason why it's got this at the moment is because he couldn't bend them when he first made the first few. And in the second sort of batch that he could bend them. So the difference is there. So if you take a look at the lock, so the shackle's quite distinctive. There's Rainer's logo on the front. And this one is Popplock now, but these original ones were Pop Art as he was starting out. So you'll notice on the bottom, there's some this there. And then the first thing you'll realise is the shackle depresses and the bottom moves. Now I'm going to show you one move. I'm going to show you the first move for this lock to give you an idea of how they physically work. And basically what happens is you'll push this shackle like this, and you're going to get these pins sort of flush on the bottom, and with a twisting motion, and even though I know what I'm doing, it's not easy. That's the first move. So I'm not really spoiling anything there. A lot of people that would know this lock would know the first move, so I don't think that's a spoiler so much. But yeah, so the first move is, and it just shows you how complicated this thing is. There's a lot going on inside. This is not an easy solve. It takes quite a while to solve it, but it's an absolutely beautiful thing, and I've got plenty more things to show, and that's just another one, my holy grail. Thank you.